Greetings, beings. Jacob Martinez, Crystal Haiku Guy, Art of Love Dummy. Back with better sound, hopefully. Sorry, air signs, fire signs. Mea culpa. I was having trouble. My yoga mic seems to have stopped working like it used to. And then I tried with the Mickey Mouse ears. Sound check was good. And so I just got right through all the fire signs and air signs, and then later I couldn't hear it, and so I don't know, maybe the mic was just too far, and anyway, I felt really badly for that, and I really appreciate everybody for being really sweet about it. I know that you can share your time with anybody here, and there are amazing readers all over this place, and just the fact that you were patient and kind and wonderful, and some of you inquisitive enough to even figure out that you could listen to it with headphones if you turn it all the way up. That was really kind and generous of you, so thank you for being that mirror for me. I appreciate it very much. And anyway, I just thought I would do fresh readings, and that's what I'm going to do for fire signs and air signs for the mid-month part of June. And please only be watching this if you're somebody that is able to say they are considered a legal adult wherever you're watching it, because this is an M for mature channel. And also, I'll just say sometimes I just kind of say swear words, and it's not like I really think about it too much. They just sort of roll off my tongue, and you know, if you're somebody that takes offense to that, please know I'm not doing it to offend anybody, and also that it's probably going to happen, and so, you know, watch at your own risk. Not that I'm like hugely vulgar, but I can definitely go on a shopping spree with the words, so anyway, got that out of the way, and yep, basically I'm going to do my same 5-card reading. I start them out with an archetypal energy for the time period. Caroline Mrs. Archetype cards. They give us light and shadow attributes. Then for physical material, we'll be using Rider-Waite-Smith. For mental sector, Psychic Tarot Oracle deck by John Holland. Personal / sometimes romantic, Romance Angels from Doreen Virtue. Also from Doreen Virtue, we'll seal it up with an Archangel Michael prayer and advice. So that's what I got for you. Hope you enjoy it. If you did, like, share, subscribe, thumbs up. Thanks so much. See ya. Air signs, hey! We're going to start with Gemini, and then we're going to do Libra, and then Aquarius, because it's still Gemini season, so birthday people go first. When I remember and the sound works. And, oh, I did already shuffle, but I'm going to shuffle again. And if you don't want to watch me shuffle, I don't blame you. Feel free to jump ahead. There's timestamps below. I'm just going to put this here to the side unless I need to say anything, so I can do the shuffle over here, and I'll try to keep the wobbling down to a minimum. I'm not trying to make anybody seasick. Sorry. I just, with this thing, I'm having to manage my space differently and haven't figured out a good logistical setup, and I'm not sure I'm going to be able to keep doing it with this. But for now, you can hear me. Your sage keeps burning out. Alright, I've dealt for all 3 air signs. When I do them, I keep the backs up until I'm ready to flip them. And so, I'm looking at the backs right now. And we're going to go ahead and get started with Gemini. So, what's up, Gemini? Hope you guys are having a great birthday season. And rocking your face off and doing exactly what you need and want to be doing for yourself, because you know what that is. It's time. We deserve to celebrate ourselves. And I don't think anybody does it quite enough, so I hope you're celebrating you. And please, by all means, do it in copious amounts. Alright, Gemini. Decisions is what I'm hearing. Wow. I'm betting a lot of you are just, excuse me, possibly in that contemplative state where a lot of us find ourselves when it's our birthday. It's kind of like time to take an inventory of who and what we are and what we allow in our life and what we want and maybe the things we don't like anymore. I think you had a similar sort of vibe with the last reading that I did too. I sort of cross-reference these for myself because of the way that I analyze energies for my shamanic work. But anyway, your overall archetypal energy for the rest of the month, excuse me, is the Hermit. I hope you can see that through the glare. The Hermit card. And again, this is the Carolyn Miss archetype cards. I'm going to read right off the card for you. Light attributes. Seek solitude to focus intently on inner life. Serves personal creativity. Shadow attributes. Withdraws from society out of fear or negative judgments of others. Refusing to help those in need. So, really solitary kind of energy. Contemplative for sure. And, yeah, just, seems like a lot of going within, and I'm just feeling like a taking of inventory, just kind of collating, you know, the different categories of like one's life and seeing, you know, what is it that's still turning you on in life, right? And like, where is it that things aren't working, you know, or where you want to adjust stuff for what's ahead. It's a good time ahead. Gonna see what the book says for you here. Okay, Gemini. For Hermit, they've actually given us 2 buzzwords, keywords to keep in mind. Recluse and eremite. And then there are 3 bullet points. The first one says, withdraws from society to focus intently on inner life. The second one says, devotes all energies to creative work or spiritual practice. And the last one says, shadow hermit manifests as intolerance, loathing, or fear of others, or refusal to help those in need. And then they give you a little tip. Look for a long-standing need to retreat into yourself to marshal your powers. So, just something to keep in mind. Especially if you feel yourself withdrawing over, you know, the next short period, a couple weeks or so. Or noticing that in other people. And just pay attention to what kind of feedback you're feeling from that energy, because it'll just give you a better idea of where you are in your decision-making process. Because I think part of what they're saying here too is that even if you have like difficult decisions to make and you're having to go within, there's a real fine line where you can become sort of like avoidant of different things. You know, apply that however it makes sense for you. But if you notice that you are being avoidant or judgmental somehow, I just hope you choose to give yourself the space to query about why that is, versus maybe what a lot of us have been trained to do without thinking, and that is shaming yourself for something that might just be a trained response, right? So if you even get to that point where you're noticing excuse me, your participation in a pattern like that, I'm just going to encourage you not to judge yourself, but try to figure out why, because there's probably something for you to learn there. And there's a very good chance that whatever that is going to be that little missing ingredient that you're looking for right now, because in your physical material realm, you're showing up here with the this is the Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot deck, by the way. This is the 2 of Wands. And that individual there might jump off at you in some form or fashion as a character in your own world. Maybe you, irrespective of gender. Maybe someone else you know. making big plans, trying to figure out which way to go, and really feeling like, yeah, I got this, and let me at him, but first, gotta pick a direction, right? And so, I keep hearing something about passions and like being turned on, and I'm noticing here on the Hermit archetype card, there's like this flame. You see that flame there? To me, it looks like he's like, and I'm just gonna say he, that can be anybody, so, you know, she, they, whomever that individual is, I will say he here for me. He's like opening up his can of whoop ass. You know, it's like, it's his Superman skills. And what's weird is like, excuse me, my throat is on fire right now, and I don't know why. There's not that much smoke in here. I don't smoke, and maybe some of y'all do, or somebody's trying to quit smoking. I don't know, but this hurts and it sucks. Please be kind to your body. And if you are trying to smoke or quit smoking, I don't remember which video it was for, but I was doing a lot of root chakra balancing, which I think we need to do for you guys too. There's a lot of strong lower chakra stuff showing up in your reading, and I'm feeling it, and there's like a burning sensation in my throat right now. But what I'm being reminded to say to you, because I think somebody is trying to quit smoking somewhere, or just changing lifestyle habits, and maybe feeling like, you know, the struggle that is fucking real, that everybody really has in their own way. So bless you for confronting yourself and for being kind to yourself. And I'm just gonna give you the same little tip that one of my guides gave to me that I think has been very helpful for me into debugging the bad software program that was piloting my vehicle. And it's really simple. Next time you go to pick up that cigarette that you know that you're trying to quit smoking, I want you to say to yourself, as you're lighting the cigarette or getting ready to eat whatever that bullshit is that you're trying to give up, or whatever you're drinking, apply it where it fits. And next time that you go to engage in that behavior, just say to yourself, this is the most loving thing I can be doing for myself right now. And just enjoy yourself. But every time you do that behavior, I want you to say that first. And just see how that works on you and see how that feels. Because I think you might be trying to let something go. Or you're coming to terms with something that maybe you didn't realize had a certain kind of influence on you that might make you feel a little trapped, consumed, possibly oppressed, and in some cases, for some people, just horny. So, I mean, I'll just say it. There's wands and fires and hermits and devils. This is the devil card in the Rider-Waite Smith deck. Here in the John Holland Psychic Tarot Oracle deck, it's 15 temptations. So, you can see a lot of wands over here, and this guy's like holding a stick, and he's got a big ball in his other hand, and this guy's the one in the dark. I don't know where his other hand is, but there's a fire shooting out of his chest. So, look, whatever is going on, This is indicative of a situation that might be controlling someone beyond what their real intention or comfort levels truly are. And so, excuse me, I feel like we really need to focus on the root chakra again. And I've got the singing bowl on the other side. I'm going to need to get up, and I'm sure everything is going to get disrupted, so I'm going to pause this, go get that, and then come back here, and we're going to do a calibration before we proceed. I'm back. I brought my two most used frequencies for stuff like this. Excuse me. Which, in case you're wondering, are going to be the C to C sharp for root chakra. Because most people need help with grounding anyway. You know, this reality that we're all kind of participating in right now. Even the most grounded people can really use some help with that too, because let's be honest, it's kind of a shit show, you know? It's really polarizing, and we can all use the help. So, just saying all this, because it's not like anything that... I guess I just want to make sure nobody feels like I'm just singling out one sign for like, oh, y'all are so ungrounded or anything, because it's not at all what I'm saying. In fact, if anything, this is the black pod talking to a kettle of probably a similar hue, because I am kind of like a freaking kite myself. I'm an Aquarius sun, so C sharp, great for root, base chakra, G sharp, throat, because something's burning me and I don't like it, and whoever is dealing with that, I'm praying for you. And if you are quitting smoking, God bless you. It's good. You're always worth the effort. It fucking sucks, doesn't it? It sucks having to give stuff up. I know. It sucks. It has a lot of power. Addictions. Let's do a little bit of balancing. C sharp. G sharp. I hope that helped a bit. I already feel lighter here. I believe that sound therapy is viable, and that anybody that studies energy and looks into the science of structure, you might be fascinated with the implications of what sound is. And yeah, if you're open, I think that's a fun rabbit to chase down an extensive hole. So there's that, and if it appeals to you for whatever reason, search it on YouTube. There's tons of sound healing stuff, really cool channels, and you can find all kinds of audios that will help harmonize your chakras and just give you a little boost or clear up things that maybe get stirred up because of the chaos in life and the things that just get triggered. So, you know, that can be happening. I think some of y'all are probably freaking Jedi masters and like just in control of your situations and how you participate with your life. But that doesn't mean that you don't still have struggles with things that can trigger you. And I understand this really well, you know. Many of the people that I work with are really deeply involved in their own personal spiritual experiences, and, you know, we all have our devils that we perhaps have struggled with in the past that even if they're on our mind, you know, maybe we don't leap to action. Like, you know, that's one really cool thing that I like about what I'm seeing in this next couple of weeks here, is that if you are struggling with some kind of addiction that's got a grip on your mental energy, somehow it's at least consuming you in that way. I'm kind of seeing it like this guy is like, he's kind of like got his hand up there and he's like, bitch please. You know, it's like over it, right? And like here, it's like he's like got it in his hand, but he hasn't taken a step any which way, you know. It's like you're exercising control over what you know. And maybe that's why this hermit energy here is present, because you're getting an opportunity to maybe re-experience yourself as the person that maybe would have grabbed for that bullshit before, that's now just like, talk to the hand. You know? So I'm getting a really strong nudge to just say something I said at the beginning of this to you again. As you're doing your inventory of what you've allowed and accepted to be true up until this point, be kind to yourself. Shame, what good has it really ever done for anybody, really? If it's there as a wake-up, great. But when it keeps happening, that's actually abuse. And that's actually a whole other devil. Do you see that? So for whoever might be noticing these patterns, just realize all it is a bug in the software that puts different things on loop the same way. It doesn't have to be good or bad. You're not good or bad. It's just a bullshit bug in the program. Sound therapy will help you. Yoga will help you. I see this guy grabbing this stick over here. That could be a tree. You got something on your mind? How you're gonna forge ahead in the world? Great. Good place to think is a park. And highly recommend it. You know? That's also a nice way to hermit, but still, like, also be involved in the world, you know? Just a little advice from a fellow air sign. And I'm going to go ahead and just jump into your romantic personal sector. I don't always think these are specifically romantic. Sometimes they're just kind of practical and carry a similar flow to the rest of the reading and give you just life advice. So this one here may or may not be romantic for anybody. Pay attention to the red flags. Okay, so obviously if it is a romance thing, maybe it's not what it looks like, you know, might not be all it's cracked up to be. And they're saying that the signs are cautioning you, so I really just feel like whatever it is, you kind of know that. And maybe that's why you're like, bitch, please. I've already been with people like you in the past, and I know what this shit is about. Bye-bye. Could be that. You know, it could be something in an existing partnership, too, or relationship. But like I said, it doesn't even have to be romantic. I think you're going to know if you have something to worry about with your partner, and that's what they're saying. So if you already kind of know or suspect, you know or suspect for a reason. The signs are there to caution you. But in the event that this is just you making decisions about life, this can also be just reminding you that the stuff that you're unearthing while you're taking this inventory, who you are, what you want, what's staying and what's going this year. Pay attention to anything that's giving you a gut check. You know if you want it or not. You know if it's good for you or not, don't you? I think you do. Here's another thing I'm looking at here. This devil character, the temptation dude, or dudette, or they person, whoever. It got like this, like Jacob's ladder kind of energy. I don't know if you saw that movie in the 90s. Wasn't the 90s, and all the faces were like all blurry like that. But it looks like, excuse me, to me, like this guy was looking back, like at whatever that is that he's saying no to. You see, it's almost like, see that claw? It's like trying to grab him by the shoulder, right? And he's like looking back, but look, he's already like turned away from it. It's like he's like, where we get to see him, we see his face. He's looking forward ahead, and his hand is coming too, you know? So it's like, I think that even if there's some bullshit going on, you already know. And you're already in the process of figuring that out. And this is just confirmation for you that you know that it's some shit you need to leave behind you. But I'm not really telling you anything new. That's what I'm feeling here. So I feel like you already know. And maybe I'm just reminding you that your logic is good, and that I commend you for being aware of how you're spending your alone time, and that it is you picking the positive destiny for yourself because you do have your world under control and within your own grasp. And that you're looking to the future and forward, even if the past is trying to sneak up on you from behind and doing some creepy bullshit. Look at that, trying to grab him. And you're like, fuck no to the bullshit. Because you already know a red flag when you see it or feel it. And Archangel Michael came to remind you to keep your eyes on your targeted intention. So I think you guys and girls and others are just doing real hardcore assessing. You know, it's all about life decisions and like what you want now. But I hear you got some big freaking plans. And you're ready to do something good, and I think you're definitely going to leave the bullshit behind. And if you are struggling with an addiction, get some help, you know? There's a lot of help. There's people that love to help, and there's no shame for that. It's actually, I think it's a really strong thing to ask for help when you need it. Because so many people don't even get to the point where they realize that they need help. Because they're still trying to grab for whatever that bullshit is. You know, they don't want to leave it. But you're going to be alright. Keep your focus. Keep your focus. And we're going to seal this one up with a prayer. Alright, Gemini, this is for you. Thank you, Archangel Michael, for helping me focus my inner vision and intention. I ask you for your guidance in releasing any fears or doubts, granting me the confidence and courage to take action toward realizing my dreams. Amen. Alright, Gemini, thank you so much for watching my channel. And I hope that your birthday was amazing and that you are celebrating yourself. And if you want to send me a prayer request, feel free. My information is below. Like, share, subscribe if you did, and if I don't hear from you, I will just see you again for July. Bye. Alright, we're going to go ahead and move on to Libra. What's up, Libra? I gotta hydrate a little bit. Gonna light a little sage. I've already shuffled and dealt, and then I'll just flip over your cards and we'll start reading. I haven't gotten used to this mic. It's like, it's freaking huge. I got ash everywhere. Alright. Just moving Gemini's cards out of the way and getting yours in front of me. Very interesting. Alright, Libra. You know, the way I'm just gonna go ahead and just say this. The way I read, I do all the elements at the same time. At least right now. And it just helps me see another layer to the things that I pay attention to. And like between the elements and like what I consider tribes. And it's really kind of crazy because some of the energy that Aquarius picked up on my first run of this, where the sound didn't pick up very well, are cards that you actually got this time. And I don't know, I'm just reminded of that right now, and so if you want, that might be a reading of interest to you. If you didn't see it, there's going to be two versions of mid-monthlies for air signs and for fire signs, since the first recordings had bad sound. And those are really low. I apologize, but I was told, and I tested it myself, if you put the headphones on and just turn it all the way up after the intro, don't do it until after the intro, because the intro is really loud. But for the readings, you have to turn it like all the way up. But some of these cards were in Aquarius's reading, and so I don't know, maybe you have some other air in your chart somewhere. Or maybe you're dealing with an Aquarius, sun, moon, or rising person, or someone who acts like that for whatever reason. And now I'm going to go ahead and get started with you, but wanted to make that note first. So, Gemini, or Libra, sorry, Libra, your overall archetypal energy for the second half of the month of June is the bully. This is one of the cards that Aquarius had gotten. I'm just going to read it straight off the card here. Light attributes. Highlights your tendency to intimidate others. Helps you confront the inner fears that bully you. And shadow attributes. Conceals deep fears behind verbal or physical abuse. And I'm just going to say it again because it had come up a couple times in that last set of readings. That crinkle between this cloud person's eyes right there, it kind of has like a V shape right here. That is exactly what the Aries symbol looks like, the ram. And I'm just going to say it just in case it connects for anybody here, since this card keeps coming up for air signs. Maybe you're dealing with an Aries, but when I first pulled it, I was feeling a lot of like pressure, like right here, like almost like pain though. It was like an oppressive kind of like a pressure, almost like a headache kind of pain, like sharp right here on my third eye. And then that's when I noticed this. And I was like, huh, it looks like an Aries symbol. And that was the first time when I was reading it for Aquarius, I think. And I'm just bringing it up again because I had felt like maybe somebody there had been dealing with a situation where maybe somebody that had strong Aries in their chart had been aggressive with them, perhaps inappropriately, bullying them in some kind of way, or creating an oppressive sort of vibe for that person. So may or may not be relevant for you. That might be specific to, you know, only very specific people, but something to keep in mind, because this is like the context of energy that might be presenting a really big challenge for the next couple weeks. A lot of times I just call this like your baseline. It's like the baseline to whatever the song is that's playing for the next couple weeks. So I'm going to read to you from the book. Alright, sometimes these give us a keyword, and the keyword that was given to us for the bully card is coward. And then there's 4 bullet points. The first one says, should be evaluated by far more than whether you bully people. Symbolically, we bully our spirits into backing down from challenges. The third one says, beneath the bully lurks the coward, which the bully masks. And then the last one says, shadow bully always gives into fear by lashing out. And then the tip is, honestly assess whether you have a lifelong pattern of bullying others to cover your own fear. Very straightforward. So true. How many times have you met a bully that's nothing but a big old coward? Right? Taking their insecurities out on others. Right? Perpetuating a vicious cycle of bullshit. Might be one in your midst. Could even be you. And if you find out that it has been, you know, go easy on yourself. Maybe you didn't realize that you'd been brought up a certain way where that became your reflexive response. And the best thing that you can do is try to make amends, and, you know, do that with yourself first. You know, don't bully yourself emotionally for something that maybe you didn't realize you were doing, you know, or allowing to happen by not doing something about it, right? And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because, well, a lot of reasons. I'm looking at your spread here, and in your physical material realm, we've got a little bit of an argumentative sort of energy in your arena showing up here. This is the Five of Swords Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot deck. And, you know, swords is the mental energy. It's your thinkers. That's people like us. Gemini, Libras, Aquariuses. Maybe Sun, Moon, Rising, carrying really strong energy of that variety. So this could be people or a person in your life that kind of has you standing on guard, or maybe feeling like ashamed, or like you get your ass kicked, or like you flew into a fucking hornet's nest when you're around them. It's like they're like trying to like hand you your ass, and you're like walking away like, oh my god. Or maybe you're the one with the sword there that people are like kind of afraid of, and somebody even looks like he's crying over there. But bully is in the air. And if you got a situation feeling like this going on, you know, you might just want to pay attention to how you're interacting with others. Because I feel like you got something coming for you, and there's some haters that just don't want to see it happen because they don't like it that you got some comeuppance coming. Your mental world. This 3 right here is normally Pentacles. So, like, if you're in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, this would be your 3 of Pentacles card. Which is like people cooperating together and like doing shit they like to do. You know, they're like making stuff happen. And like making deals and getting praise for the good job. And so that's what this one's saying here too. Recognition and reward. Maybe a slow kind of moving energy, and it's on your mind that it's like time for you to get like what you've been working for. Maybe you got some stupid bully. It's like trying to fuck with your mojo. I know you're thinking they better not be coming at you with a sword, because you know what you're doing too. You don't want to mess with a Gemini like that. Or, excuse me, a Libra. God, what am I thinking? But it's the truth. I mean, it takes a lot sometimes to push you guys over the edge, because you do a really good job. But if someone's just constantly like blowing their horn over your shoulder and like crowding you, making you feel like that, and they set you off, it's not good. I know. I've seen a pissed off Libran before. And the thing is, like, I don't know. It took a lot to see them get to that point, is what I'm saying. So I'm just gonna say that your guides are like all over you right now to bring some trust. This is your personal romantic. I'll jump back to that. But also to shield yourself. This is your Archangel Michael card. Because you know that your situation is legit. You know what you did. You know what you brought to the table. You know how you've been flying straight, making it happen. And you know that if you haven't already started getting your recognition and your praise and your, you know, whatever satisfaction is coming to you for your job well done and for keeping your shit together, even amidst some possibly backbitey, unfair treatment, maybe. They're saying trust the situation right now, and that what you've been waiting for is actually coming for you. It's not going to be much longer. This situation is calling for you to have faith. So, alright, it could be romantic, sure. Maybe, you know, your partner needs to be trusted right now more than anything, or, you know, you're in a situation where you're either calling in love or you're dealing with somebody that actually is trustworthy. Or if you're dealing with this in the context of the general sway of life, and this has either a professional or personal implication, like what I was just kind of following here, they're saying that you still need to hang on to your faith in this situation, that you are going to get what you have invested into this and what you need to come out of it to actually feel good about the situation. But this does say bully, and just because you're trusting doesn't mean that you need to be in a bad situation, and you should be shielding yourself. And especially if you are, and I'm being reminded too, when I did the air signs a couple days ago, the one with the bad sound, you might want to go back and listen to it. I mean, my shuffles can be weird and stuff. I had like the world's longest shuffle. I was getting all this like need to ground and like all this high resonance vibration stuff, like here on my crown and like soul star chakras, and like just high vibration like kundalini. And I have been cooked. I've been initiated through these things already, and I was really getting kind of like, you know, electrified from it. And I was feeling like a lot of you air signs are going through something major right now. You know, call them energetic, spiritual upgrades. I don't know, call it whatever it makes sense to you. You know, I'm not trying to define it or pigeonhole it for you at all. You know what your experience is the best. What I'm intending to say here is that I can feel things a lot of times, and for all of the air signs, when I was connecting to you the way that I do, I was getting this sensation up here, these upper register energies that for me have brought profound experiences, wonderful things into my life. And I wanted to commend you for being on the path that you're on, where these things are happening for you, and just also encourage you to also be dynamic with the way that you self-care, because as you are experiencing more of your own dynamic nature as an energetic being that just happened to land in a meat suit, things change, and you might change the way you treat yourself now that you know things differently than you did before. So maybe not better or worse. I don't say any of these things with shame, but more with just these little reminders for you that the skin that you are shedding now is a rite of passage. How you deal with your own inner bully and the ones that you encounter, you know, that's a rite of passage too. You're on something right now, and the guides want you to trust that you're gonna get through this stupid nonsense. This is bullshit. Maybe somebody needs to apologize and just walk away. You know what you've done, and even if you're not getting the validation from other people, or it's coming slowly, your recognition and rewards, you know. And while you're going through it, shield yourself. Guard and protect that psychic space that's becoming more active. It's being activated for a reason. And one of the most confusing things for people is when those things start to come awake and you start to experience more nuance, texture, depth to situations because of it. It can be a confusing time when you pick up other people's vibes and mistake them for your own. And learning to shield yourself is just a prudent move. I will be doing some probably video or something like this soon for my blog about that, because I've had people reaching out and sending me messages along with prayer requests asking about how to spiritually protect yourself. And so right now what we're going to do is just a calibration together over the rest of your month here in Libra, and we're going to accept Archangel Michael's help with shielding you right now, and just stay tuned, subscribe. When I put that video out, you'll definitely get a notification on it if you do that. And we'll talk a little bit more about energetic hygiene and keeping up, good energetic boundaries so that you feel like you're in control of your space, especially if there are some conditions around you that maybe you can't necessarily control. At least you can take control of your namaste space, you know what I mean? So with that, we're going to go ahead and seal it up with a prayer. Libra. Archangel Michael, I ask you to protect me, my loved ones, my vehicle, my home with your powerful shield. Surround us in your purple light, which allows only pure love to penetrate. Please stay with me day and night and keep my loved ones safe in every situation. Amen. Alright, Libra, that's what I got for you. I hope you liked it. Hope it was helpful. If you want me to pray for you, hit me up. My information is below in the description. Like, share, subscribe if you did. And yeah, if I don't hear from you, I'll see you again for the July reading soon. God bless you. Alright, I'm gonna put these cards away now, and we're gonna go ahead and do Aquarius last, but not least. I'm gonna drink a little water here. Please excuse me. And a little more sage. That's going on. Alright. Hey Aquarius, how you doing? How's your month treating you? Or how are you treating your month? I'm just gonna flip your cards over here. I'm just kind of like a sucker for good news. Anytime there's good news, I just want to like burst out of my skin. Yay! And especially when it has something to do with, of course, here's my selfish motivation, a sign that I'm influenced under. And with an Aquarius sun sign, I'm very happy to read this spread. So, Aquarius, I think you're having a good month, maybe. Some parts of it at least. Let's go ahead and jump in. Your overall archetypal energy for the second half of June is that of the artist. Can you see that? Sorry about the glare. I've got this really cool light box over here, and it just like reflects light everywhere, and it's great in here, but the glare is when I try to hold up a card. Sorry. I'm gonna go ahead and just read to you off the card. Light attributes. Expressing a dimension of life that is just beyond the five senses, inspiring others to see life symbolically. Shadow attributes. using talent as an excuse to mistreat others, posing as the starving artist to elicit pity. So, that's our challenge energy for the second half of this month. And I'm going to go ahead and pull up the card meaning in the book. Alright, here we go, Aquarius. They don't always start like this, but this one has some kind of a tip up at the top. Look for a lifelong pattern of inspiring others spiritually or aesthetically. So that's like the big thought that they wanted to include here. And then for artists, they've given us some keywords to, keep in mind. Artisan, craftsperson, photographer, sculptor, weaver. And then there are 3 bullet points. The first one says, could be a chef or landscaper as easily as a painter or photographer. The second one says, embodies passion to express a dimension of life beyond the 5 senses. And the last one says, shadow artist may manifest in cliches such as eccentricity, self-indulgence, or the starving artist syndrome. Come on, you gotta admit, they just described like a lot of us, didn't they? Alright, we're Aquarians, we know. But anyway, there's a tip here too to keep in mind. It says, look for continuing need to make art or to bring art to others by supporting artists. So, really good tip. But I really like that first one. I'm going to read it again to you. Look for a lifelong pattern of inspiring others spiritually or aesthetically. That's really cool. And actually, I don't think I've seen another card that has a tip on top like that. Usually they just say, like, I'll show you, like, whatever the name is and like a buzzword, and then like artist, literally above even all the bold, there was that statement about paying attention to how you might be inspiring others by the love that you embody as the soul that you are. It's kind of a compliment, don't you think? So I feel like you've got a lot of creative stuff going on here, Aquarius, because there's a really cool energy circulating, and you're considering a lot of options right now. Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot deck here. This card I pulled for your physical material realm, and this is the 7 of Cups. And this card, I mean, the actions that are being taken here are kind of more of a considering options sort of action. It's more of like an internal thing going on. And Gemini's kind of going through some stuff right now too, doing an inventory, and that's kind of what this feels like here too. Since I'm seeing cups, I have to consider the fact that these might just be the things that pull on you emotionally that you're thinking about. Maybe the things that inspire you to do what you do. Maybe there's something really passionate in your reasoning behind whatever you're doing, even if people don't see it as an art. I'll use my brother for an example. He's a really artistic person, and the kind of work that he does right now is like, it's like banking kind of stuff, and a lot of people might see it and just be like, oh, it's like boring banking, job or whatever, but he actually works with the orchestration of the art of numbers and structures that are, they're beautiful. you know, and it's something he's passionate in, and there is actually an art to it. And I think that sometimes people might, you know, confuse how others see what they do for, you know, what it is that they're really doing. And I hope you're being kind with yourself if you think you might be one of those people, because, you know, that's probably one of the pitfalls a lot of artists have. And I know personally, I mean, I'm an artist too. I went to school for music. Part of why I didn't pursue things the way I originally intended is because of how I anticipated that others were perceiving me as a saxophone player, even though I had been offered incentives to go to different colleges of a financial nature. I didn't necessarily see myself as, you know, worthy, I guess, and so I kind of lost my art to that by maybe fruitless consideration of what my options were. You see where I'm going with this? So I'm saying it because they're saying here, using talent as an excuse to mistreat others. Keep in mind that might be yourself that's getting mistreated. Don't mistreat yourself, or stop yourself from doing something you love, even if it's just some silly little hobby. Okay? Why does it have to be silly? Why does it have to be little? Don't minimize it. Don't minimize yourself. Don't mistreat yourself over a talent that you know you have and something that you enjoy. Okay? Just being brotherly here. Please excuse me, I'm thirsty. Mental sector, using the John Holland Psychic Tarot Oracle deck. Card number 21, the universe, aka the world, if you were looking at like the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. And I think this is probably one of the most freaking awesome cards ever. It's kind of hard for me to pick a card if I had to. You could do a lot worse than this. This is completion. This is culmination. This is like the end of everything you've worked for. That's something. This is a major arcana. Major arcana cards are symbolic of major life events or sways. These are the kind of things that change us, because they happen, whether or not we want them to. This is imminent, and it's like on your mind, and I feel like this is your genius, your internal genius, helping guide whatever this inventorying process is that you're going through while you're deciding where you are going to invest that creative energy, your genius mind, and your passion. There's like a rebirth going on right now. And you know it. Is that you in the center of it all? I think you've been getting in touch with something really deep inside yourself. Some of your archetype cards recently have been like something. And I'm just being reminded, when I recorded these the first time, your archetype card that you got, and also your physical material realm card, are two cards that showed up just now in Libra's reading. And I don't know if you have any Libra influence in some kind of way, either personally in your own constitution or with another person that you're dealing with. But you might want to take a look at that. And just a warning, the sound on the first run of air signs and fire signs, I apologize, it's horrendous. I had a major snafu with that, but I have been told, and I checked it myself, and it at least worked on my end, that the sound works if once the reading starts, you turn the volume all the way up with like headphones, you can hear it, and it's not great, and I do apologize. That's why I'm doing these again here, but I think I should just mention that some of the energy has been similar, and it might help you connect a dot somewhere. And the common thread that I'm remembering again, and why I brought it up, is this thing with the bully, because you got the bully, and so did Libra. And y'all also got something with like an altercation going on with somebody, maybe. It was coming up for some people. Possibly a sideways apology, I don't know. But this thing about being mistreated, excuse to mistreat others, I'm gonna just draw another line under it, because the bullying energy was also kind of like a warning to self about how we inflict on ourselves and the ways that we let it keep us back. And I'm just like underlying that for you a lot, because I feel like you got some major awesome stuff happening that maybe has been happening so slow that you maybe have wanted to give up at times. Now's not the time to do it, Aquarius. Please. I'm just gonna jump ahead because Archangel Michael says believe and trust. We'll come back, we'll seal it up with a prayer for that, but something that's going on in your life is working, and I think you got this card at the beginning of the month, didn't you? True love? I have to go back and look at my book and cross-reference. I think you got this at the beginning of the month. This is coming up in the romantic sector, personal sector. Doesn't always have to be romantic, though. True love could be what you're doing, what you're considering getting into, what you're doing, your passionate art, whatever's culminating here, that's on your mind, that you know is coming to completion. You freaking love it. And it's possible there's a person involved too. And if that's the case, it's too legit to quit, because it says this is the romance of a lifetime. And you know what? I'm going to read you what the books say. Let's go back to the Universe card. John Holland Psychic Tarot Oracle deck. That's even the card that they use on the box cover, book cover. Might tell you something. Alright, 21, the Universe. You've come far on your journey, and it's time to be rewarded for your efforts. This card symbolizes completion, triumph, peace, liberation, and fulfillment. Everything you strive for is within your reach. Meet it halfway and grab it. The Universe is the last of the major arcana cards and reflects the work that you've accomplished on your travels. But more importantly, it represents the wisdom that you've gained along the way. You should now honor and acknowledge the truly wonderful soul that you are, and accept the vital part that you play in the bigger scheme of life. The world is yours to command, and you're free to travel in whatever direction your heart desires. You're connected to everything in the cosmos. The Universe card is a reminder that the same energy making up the stars in the sky, the same energy that's coursing through the universe, is in each and every individual. In ancient times, many believed that each star was the soul of one person. They also believed that these souls shined so brightly to guide others through the darkness, and so too can your wise soul. That's you. Claim it. It's yours. Believe and trust. It's real. Okay. I'm just going to seal it up right here, guys. Gals, others. Thank you so much. Aquarius, this is for you. Believe and trust. Before going to sleep tonight, say, Archangel Michael, please enter my dreams and replace fear with faith and trust. Let me be filled with strength, courage, and confidence. Amen. Alright, I think that's awesome. I hope it's freaking awesome. Make it awesome. You're awesome. And I love you. And if you liked it, share, subscribe. Let me know if you want me to pray for you for anything. And if I don't hear from you, I will see you again soon for the July readings. God bless you.